Hey guys, James here with Waterford Business Solutions. And working specifically in the trades, a big thing that we have to look at, work with, consider, everything like that is budgeting. And making sure that both budgeting for the business, but more specifically budgeting for each and every job is a huge thing on top of clients' minds. And while we've got this simple budgeting of, hey, we're going out and we're replacing someone's HVAC unit, it's going to be a 5,000, 7,000, 12,000, somewhere in that range job. That's fairly simple as long as we kind of know where your material numbers are, where your labor numbers are, where your overhead numbers are. We can pretty much easily budget for that. But when we get into larger situations here, when we get into jumping into talking about full-blown like commercial HVAC projects where you're doing potentially a 400, 500, or even a multi-million dollar job, because we've got clients that do that, or if we're talking about home builders, because we work with a lot of general contractors and home builders that have to kind of plan out the budget for whether it be a $500,000, $1 million home, semi-custom or custom, or going all the way up into the $30 to $50 million range of planning out budgets for homes and flips. This is where budgeting gets a lot more complicated and something we definitely want to jump into and take a look at. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Before we jump in, I do want to go ahead and invite you to like and subscribe to our channel here. Any type of engagement or anything like that really helps boost the channel and gets our videos in front of more people that can really use the information that we supply to you. And also, it makes sure that you guys get information just like this, because we're putting it out every single week on multiple different topics about the taxes, finances, bookkeeping, accounting, everything like that for your business, really focusing in that home service, construction, and trades industries here. So it's a great way to make sure that you're getting regular kind of information on how to go ahead and enhance your business and make your business better. Now, as far as budgeting and everything here, it is a major thing. Like I said, these bigger projects, generally you're going to be bidding for them. So you need to know up front what's going to be your costs and everything like that. And you're going to need to know what the scope of work is. We're going to generally, with these big projects, have a scope of work that is provided to everyone who's bidding. And then they're able to go through, price everything out. We've got to make sure that we take a look at, okay, what's our material going to cost here? What's our labor going to cost here? What's our overhead? If we're traveling, what are our travel costs? What are our accommodation costs? Everything like that. Now, you could do a simple thing of just using an Excel spreadsheet. That's honestly the old way, or a pen and paper. That's kind of the old way to do it there. But there are a lot of programs out there now that make this a whole lot easier. And when I'm working with kind of my big commercial contractors here that are doing these big commercial jobs, we generally look at a program called Knowify. Knowify is a great program for clients to use because it helps them with that progress billing, that project tracking, that AIA billing, along with making sure that they understand what their costs involved in bidding for a project are. Because it's got a whole process or a whole system in it that leads you from beginning to end on going ahead and bidding out that project based off of historical numbers you've put in, based off of metrics that you want to hit that we set up in the program, so that it helps you get an accurate price there. It also lets you, throughout the project, lets you go ahead and compare what you're actually spending to what you thought you were going to spend, even through multiple stages of the project. So as you are doing more and more of these projects, it allows you to kind of fine tune in, and the system, the software itself, really helps you to better understand exactly what's going on and get more accurate on your bidding process, so that you're as competitive as you possibly can be. It's a great program for my commercial facing contractors, and a lot of times if we've got someone who's got both a commercial and a residential side or something like that, we will go ahead and use a program like House Call Pro, Service Titan, Jobber, something like that on the residential side, but then we'll use Knowify here for their commercial side because of all the additional benefits. Knowify also makes it a whole lot easier for my commercial guys when it comes to their bond audits. We talked a little bit about kind of bond audits, or we're going to be talking about that kind of coming up here, and what those are. It's definitely a big thing that we have to watch out for and that we have to monitor here. And so having a system that gives us that WIPS report, that works in progress report, having a system that helps everything there is definitely vital. And Knowify takes us step by step by step through everything here. Now, when we come to more of my semi-custom and custom home builders, we're less focused on really the specific what is on your side of everything to cost out here, and more on what is it going to take for all of your trades to work with you. Because when we're in semi-custom and custom homes, we're now looking at, okay, well, we've got our foundation guy, we've got our electrician, we've got our plumber, we've got our HVAC, we got our framers, we got our roofers. You're going to have 10 to 20 different trades, subcontractors on this job. So you've got to come up with, when you are talking with that client, an approximate price on what it's going to cost them on their home. And you want it to be pretty close, because you don't want to get into a project and start building a house and the customer runs out of money. If the customer wants this, you've got to really talk with them and say, okay, this is what it's going to cost to give you A. And if they're like, I don't think we can do that, okay, here's some ways that we can save you money. So instead of looking at a program like Knowify, we go ahead and we take a look at Buildertrend. And a lot of you probably know of that. It's a huge name out there in the semi-custom and custom home building. And quite frankly, it's a huge name because it's a great program. It works very well. And the biggest benefit that I see with it is it allows you to develop that scope of work with your client, send that scope of work out to all of your trades so that they see exactly what's needed. Hey, here's the blueprints, here's the electrical that we need, here's this, here's that, and then allows them to, within one system, submit their quotes, and allows you to really check pricing with multiple different trades here so that you can make sure, yes, we're checking with 2 or 3 different electricians and we've checked with everyone and found the best price. I've worked with general contractors before that they've got a 3-inch, 5-inch, or multiple binders where they track all of this stuff with. And the whole point of Buildertrend is to digitize that budgeting process. It allows you to basically go through and say, okay, let's take all of these scope of work, this entire scope of work, let's digitize it. We can digitally send it to everyone. They can go ahead and reply back. We can digitally compare everything, make it a lot easier to understand who's where, doing what, what's the better option here, etc., so that we can get the best option for your client and then present nicely to them what is going to be a estimated cost to go ahead and do this project for them. This allows you to make sure you're missing as little as possible. Change orders are hopefully minimal unless the customer specifically requests them, and we're ultimately optimizing kind of your monetary side of everything to make sure that it is a solid investment for you and that you are actually profiting and not losing money on this job. Buildertrend does a great job with that, and it's definitely kind of my go-to software that we work with on our semi-custom and custom home builders because of that. Because it helps us so much with the budget, helps us so much with understanding the project, and in so many other ways, both of these programs do a lot of different things in addition to that. But They help with the start of figuring out kind of what do I need to do, what are we expecting for all of this to cost, so that we can have that discussion with the client before we get started. That way, we know exactly what it's going to run. We can make sure that we've got income there, or enough income to give us the desired profit that we have, and the customer is happy and has no surprises there. Taking the time and doing a budget up front, doing a solid system in the first place, make sure that you bid profitably and competitively with everyone else, along with helping to keep that satisfaction from your customer. Anytime a customer is unhappy, it's never going to be a great situation for you, and always something that we're going to want to avoid if at all possible. So doing this budget up front is great. Budgeting is definitely something every single contractor should do if at all possible. And if you need help with understanding where your financial metrics are, or implementing systems to help you with this budgeting, that's the reason that we're here at Waterford Business Solutions. We're here to help solve any financial issue that you guys kind of have, whether it be taxes, ongoing financial support, budgeting for your business, or helping you to better implement softwares and programs in the first place to work with your customers on the front end. Feel free to reach out to us either by email at info@waterfordbusiness.com, or give us a call or send us a text message at 864-351-0852. And we'd be happy to work with you and see how you can optimize and make your business even better. As always, guys, thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next week.